Yeah, not too bad. Just a bit loose, mate. I have to tighten up the nose part of it. Thank you to my sister for this pair of glasses, mate. I've never worn them, but they're quite nice, eh? My sister has good taste. Sister Karen bought me these, mate. 2 years ago now. I had them in there because they were special, bro, so I didn't wear them. But I don't have any sunglasses left now. I watched the video, I think it was when I was in the supermarket. I pulled all the stuff out of my bag to pack the bag with milk. And that must have been where I've done it. I don't know, man, I must have fucking put them down somewhere. Because I didn't have them after that point. So that's how I lost a pair of things, mate. We'll just check on the old man. You need anything, Bert? No. Okay, you got food and drink? Hey? You got drink?
Yeah, I got everything.
Okay. Oh, it's too hot to carry, man. I got it inside. Well, it seems like I got into a little bit of strife, to be quite honest. So I got into a bit of strife, boys and girls. Hello, sir. Enjoy your day. And, you know, that's what happens, mate, when you put yourself out there. And that's just normal, man. I was expecting that. I don't actually give a fuck. Who's he talking to? Ah, he's yelling out the back. Anyway, the old man called me up. I'll go over and check on him, man. He's there's I and stuff, and then there's a lady that takes care of him, and he's had a bit of a fall today. He's had a bit of a fall, mate. So yeah, he asked for a packet of smokes and just to come over and say hello for a minute. So I'll keep you guys company if you don't mind until we get there. I haven't brought the charger with me today, so I'll just go over and check on him, mate. I'm not doing anything else, and it's stinking hot inside, so I may as well go over there and pop in. And I should make the bus just on time, which is good. A bit of the Lord Dobby, mate, in the afternoon, boys. Can't get any better, mate. A bit of the Lord Dobster. Looks like we caused a bit of a fucking ruck, mate. A little bit of an argument. But fuck it, mate. We'll move on in subjects, bro. You know, we've got a couple of fucking real fucktards on TikTok at the moment. One of them's Billy Abdullah, and the other one's I think it's called Johnny. Anyway, booze, both of these blokes are guilty of DV, mate, against women. Severe DV. You know, black eyes, broken lips, marks all over their body. Testimony on TikTok. You can listen to the lady's story. That's his ex-missus. And he just laid into her. And he's always on live, mate. And he's always saying, oh, I went to court and they found me innocent. You know, that's his defence. And you've got all these fucktards in there fucking gifting this guy, mate. And I don't know what's wrong with men, man, or with ladies. I don't know what's wrong with your mentality. How can you watch someone who is deliberately running women down, who has beat women to a pulp, on film, on TikTok, and, you know, up for charges, the whole thing, and you sit there gifting him? So I started looking up the gifters, you know. I was just wondering, right? And these are all really big, fat, fucking single mums that gift him. And they all think that he's just beautiful, you know. It's just weird, brother. It's just so weird. Anyway, man, can Centrelink help with teeth? Can someone answer that? Can Centrelink help with teeth? How in the fuck did Slammer get fucking teeth, bro? How in the fuck did Slammer get full thing of teeth? Yeah? I don't know, can Centrelink help with that? Maybe you go on a list or something and it takes, 12 months or something for them to call you in. I don't know. But I wouldn't mind getting a part of that goat and getting the bottom fixed up. They're very expensive, mate, dentists here in Australia. Very, very expensive. As usual, no one's in my chat. Absolutely normal. I never get anyone in my chat now. My stream has been totally kiboshed. Totally kiboshed, brothers. I never get more than 10 people in my stream now. And I think those 10, mate, they don't even say hello, they're just waiting to report you. They're waiting to record anything you say. You know? Like, we got 1 like on this thing and 7 fucking viewers. 7 viewers. Wow. I go for my afternoon stroll. It helps me. That's why I go over and say hello. It just gets me out of the house for an hour. And yeah, I don't think about things, mate. Worst thing you can do, mate, is have an idle brain. You know, you end up thinking about bullshit you shouldn't think about. Got way too much energy to go running around here in this kind of temperature. It's pretty hot, boys. It's nicer here because you've got the shade, but it's still hot. This is my local, there's a river there, can you see the river? I wouldn't go and fishing in there or swimming in there, but it looks nice. It's the runoff from the sewerage plant upstream, mate. It's all the runoff. So there's no fish in there, buddy. There is some kind of water rat living in there though. Or some kind of, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's about 2 foot long and it's covered in fur. And I see it swimming, mate, underneath the bridge. Yeah, I just want to get to the bus stop, make sure I'm there on time. Otherwise I've got to wait an hour. Buses are only once an hour. Happy Australia Day. I hope you had a good Australia Day. I hope you celebrate Australia Day. And it's also my birthday. So, happy birthday to Lord Dobby. 1 year older, 1 year wiser, one more year stupider. And 1 more year closer to the fucking ground, mate. Yeah? That's how I look at it. But it's just another day to me. You know, just another day. So happy Australia Day, happy birthday to Lord Dobby. And I hope you have a good one. Or I hope you're having a good one. Or I hope you're having one at all. reckon I couldn't get one, mate, if I fucking married it. Fuck. Jesus, mate, she's a bit freaking warm out here. Phew. You know, I'm wearing my poppy shirt, mate. Wearing my poppy shirt. You know, it seems a little bit redundant now. You know, it seems a little bit out of place, mate. The soldiers, celebrating the soldiers, war memorials, celebrating the Memorial Day every year or whatever, you know, like I do every year, and buying my poppy and put on my shirt to remind me of the veterans that died in the war and remind me of why they died. Yeah, the reasons why they died, the reasons they went to war. You know, a lot of them were 15-year-olds, mate, 16-year-olds, and they lied about their age, mate, in order to go to war. And why do you think they went to war? Well, because they loved it, or because their freedom and liberty was at stake, and the country's freedom and liberty were at stake. You know, we were being invaded by another country, man. You know, wanted to take over us and make us subservient to their laws. Yeah, and they're the ones that got up and died, mate. They got up and died for your liberties and for your rights and your speech and being able to wave a flag in the air and to be able to question the Prime Minister, all of that stuff, just to have what we call free speech. You know, that's why they went to war, and that's why they died, you know. And it's pretty disgusting, man, that we have got politicians that are dual citizens. They're not even Australian, man. They're all dual citizens, man. Every one of them. Just look them up, dude, and you'll see that I'm not lying to you. So their allegiance and loyalty is not to the Australian people and the Australian country. You know, their allegiance is to their duality. Yeah? And the duality is paying extra, because we're already paying them. They're already getting 400 grand a year from us, plus all their expenses. Well, now they can get a couple $100 grand through campaign donations. You know, make themselves even more richer, because they all leave office millionaires, mate. They never leave office the way they came in. They're all multi-millionaires, and they were all dual citizens. And it just really, irks me as an Australian who celebrates the war every year. You know, goes along and gets his poppy, to realise that they have signed us over, man. They've signed us out. Okay, with this new bill they got signed in. I've got to be G-rated now, okay, because they're taking down my streams. Okay, you know, with this new bill that they've let in, mate, and they all voted for them. You know, there was only a certain amount of them, 10 or 15 of them or something, that walked out and refused to vote. The rest of them, mate, they voted for it. And in my eyes, makes them a traitor. It makes them a traitor. You know, they've signed laws into being that are governing us, that are totally against, you know, how we grew up, how we grow up. You know, the rights that we had, the rights that we fought for, you know. So that's what I find really upsetting about the whole thing, is that they freely gave it away. They freely gave it away, you know, for dual citizenship and some extra sponsor money. And they're not expensive. It's not like they have to spend a fortune to get their vote, mate. They're very, very cheap. You know, a couple $100 grand, and that's it. You got yourself the top job there, you know, he'll sign over for you, man. You know, you've got the other bloke, the WA Prime Minister or whatever he is called. He's even cheaper, you know, and he's all for it, mate. He doesn't look at us, man. He looks at what they want, what they need, and on their demands. And what's really annoying, all you got to do is Google it. It doesn't take much. That's why that Zionist earlier was asking me what, you know, how do you find out your information? Because none of that's on 7, 9 or 10, and you're not supposed to know about it, okay? And you just got to believe me, because, yeah, you got to believe what I'm saying. And they don't like you having that information. They really, really don't. They don't like you having it. You know, how did you know? How do you find that out? How did you know that? You know, you've just got to sit there, be quiet, listen to whatever they say, and just agree on everything that they say. And then they're happy. And the minute that you say anything, you know, it's anti this and anti that, that's their defence. They didn't like what their ears heard, you know, so it becomes anti the S word. Okay? And that's because, you know, you can't talk against it, mate. You know, they like to run in the shadows. They like to pull all the strings, and they don't want anyone talking about it, because that way they'll be found out. And they work better in the shadows. They want it all passed in the shadows. You know, you're not supposed to know who wrote the bill, who is the one that promoted the bill, who is the one that prepared it for both sides of the government, who is the one that's been pushing and pushing and pushing it for months and months and months. They've been pushing it and pushing it, mate. You know? And then finally something has happened where they can go, look, you know, we need these new links. Look, it would have saved that person, right? It wouldn't have saved anything, viewer. The situation would have still happened the same exact way, okay? It wouldn't have changed a goddamn thing, mate. You know, bad guys, they don't get permission to get a boom boom, mate. Bad guys don't ask permission. Bad guys just get it. Only the good guys ask permission and get registered and licensed and everything else, okay? Only the good guys. The bad guys, they don't need to do any of that. And they can get anything they want, any boom boom they want, okay? And they don't need to ask anybody. They can just acquire it. Because that's what happens in the real world. So all these laws, man, they only apply to me and you. Here she goes. 10 minutes, mate. 10 minutes. And that's what pisses me off about it. That all of that shit is written by a third party. All of it is. All of it's written by them. None of it is written by our government, man. Not a single word of that was written by our government. Doesn't that make you feel ill? You know, it makes me feel ill. Like to think about it, it makes me feel ill. That a third party government, an entire fucking government, can rewrite laws for your country and then come into your country and lobby and lobby and lobby the government to get it pushed through Parliament, to get it pushed through into laws. And they have full control. You know, they're full control. Both sides of the house are controlled. The ones that were any good, they left, mate. They didn't vote. They got out of there and they didn't vote. They're the good ones. They're the good ones, mate. Because every one of those politicians, man, are absolute traitors. Traitors to the country, traitors to the people, traitors for all the soldiers that died and for what happened in the wars. And they've just signed our rights away and signed those soldiers' deaths away as nothing, meaning nothing, boys. None of those deaths in the wars meant anything because these stinking, corrupt politicians, mate, these dual citizenships have signed our rights away, signed our speech away, signed what we're allowed to agree to and not allowed to agree to, and what we're allowed to have on our social media and not have on our social media. So we've become communist, mate. We've become full-on commies, man. Okay? we're full on commies who don't even write our own laws. We're not smart enough to do that. We're smart enough just to take it from a third party and let the third party tell us what we should do in our lives. And then everything becomes racist, everything becomes anti-this and anti-that. You know what I'm saying? Every part of your speech, they could say, I don't like this or I don't like that, and they want to get you charged up, mate. Charged up, brother. And they want you doing 5 years jail, brother. 5 years fucking nick time, mate, for something that you've said or some comment that you've liked on the internet. And don't think I'm joking, man. Don't think that these people won't come knocking on your fucking door, because that's exactly why they wrote the fucking laws in the first place, mate. In order for them to come knocking, in order for them to come questioning, mate. That's why they wrote the laws. You know, their laws, mate, their fucking laws, which seem to override the Constitution, because that's not what's written in the Constitution. It's just not. It's totally illegal. The only thing that makes it legal is these fucks that get paid $500,000 a year have wrote it into a piece of paper. That's the only thing. That's it. But in all honesty, bro, that means that, you know, our soldiers died for nothing. That's what I'm upset about. Everything, all the soldiers' wars, mate, all those people that died for our rights, mate, it's for nothing. It's for absolutely nothing. They did it for nothing. Don't you understand how sickening that is, mate? You know, our old diggers who went to war, the people that died, the fucking ones that actually gave their lives in order for a free speech to be, in order for people to be able to say what they want and without the fear of the government putting you into jail. And now, the government is so fucking precious, mate, that anything you say, anything you put on the internet, they can charge you up for. They can put you in 5 years jail. 5 years jail, ladies and gentlemen, for a comment that the government doesn't like or some other third party doesn't approve of. You know, they found it like it hurt their feelings, you know, it hurt their feelings, yeah? So you should be charged up, mate, you should be charged up. And it doesn't even take a person complaining. It doesn't even take a human complaining. It just takes a government department fucking retard bureaucrat with a fucking bow tie on that fucking is upset with you. You know, someone in one of the lobbies, mate, will complain. And that's who the ones that are sheriffing the internet. It's not me and you, ladies and gentlemen, it's the third parties, the fucking lobbies that are sheriffing the internet. Look who's in charge of it, mate. Look who's in charge of it, brother. You know, and you'll know who you're not allowed to talk against. You'll understand why you're not allowed to talk against them, you know, because they don't want people to know. They don't want people to know. They want to be able to pull all the strings, do all the harm they want, do anything they want to anybody, and nobody can say anything. Nobody can do anything, okay? There's no one to complain, because if you complain, you might get charged. You know, they might get upset with you, and you might face charges, okay? So it's quite serious. It's quite serious for us in Australia, because I don't want to be governed by fucking third parties' rules and regulations, man. That's not even written by our. It's not even written by our people, man. It's not even written by us. It was written by the lobbies, mate. By the two lobbies in Australia that lobby every government in the world to get their laws passed. And it was written by them, it was introduced by them, it was promoted by them to both sides of the government in order to get it through the parliament. And that is how they got their laws over us. Okay? That is how they got their laws over the people, over us, by doing that. It wasn't through any other method, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's not like we were screaming out to have new hate speech laws and this, that and the other laws. It had nothing to do with that at all. You know what I mean? It's got nothing to do with that at all. It's purely, ladies and gentlemen, so that we are, you know why they wanted to do it? It's so that we're not able to watch the videos that we watch. We're not able to get the commentary that we get. They don't like us on social media. They don't like us fucking talking. They don't like it protesting and all that, because you're not protesting the right people. You've got to protest and talk about the ones that they don't like, and then you'll be sweet. But see, we've got their Prime Minister or their President turning up to do some kind of tour here in Australia, and they're afraid of him getting protested. That's what it's really about, man, to protect him, so that we're not able to protest, we're not able to say anything in public. That was lucky. Yeah, man, the J lobbies, dude. The J lobbies control everything in every country, man. They just lobby and lobby and lobby. and they get their own way. They get their laws passed, and I swear to God, that's how it works. They all do it, mate. They're in every country, and that's how they get their laws passed in the different countries, bro. It's not any other way. My life shit. It started off badly, and I'm pretty sure it's going to end badly. Yeah, for most of us, mate, it's the same test. It's the same, mate. It's only as good as you make it, bro. It's only as good as you make it. You know, it's only as good as the opportunities that come your way and that you're able to step into and take advantage of. And that's all it is. You know, it's the same as meeting the ex-mate and going to China. You know, it's just taking up those opportunities, you know, and going anyway. You know, it's otherwise, mate, I'd lead a pretty boring life, a pretty quiet life. So yeah, I understand, mate. It's very hard to meet someone. It's really, really hard. Like and it's even harder to keep them happy. It's even harder. So at least you're not wasting your years and years of your life trying to keep someone else happy. Okay, and just keep yourself happy, and you'll be fine. But yeah, mate, it's about dodging and diving and ducking and diving, and it's about coming online and asking people for money to survive, and it's about selling masks. It's about throwing planes. I don't know, man. It's about any way to survive. Any way to survive. Okay. That's all it's about. You know, I'm just lucky. I'm a bit lucky. That's all, mate. You know, if I was worried about things, mate, I wouldn't have the apartment. I wouldn't be paying $360 a week in rent, which is what I pay. Okay, so plus my bills, plus internet. So yeah, just to function, mate, is, you know, $500 a week or some shit like that, just to function. So as long as I've got that covered, I'm okay. And I'm kind to the people that are around me. I'm nice to the people that are around me. You know, like the old man knows he can call me up, and you know, I'll pop over for an hour. You know, like he doesn't care that it's a public holiday. You know what I mean? So I go over, and why is it all being muted, mate? What is this shit, dude? Everything's getting muted. It's not me, man. I don't know what you're writing. No, they're not women's, man. They're men's glasses, you fucking wally. My sister bought them for me, though, but they're men's glasses, mate. No wonder you got deleted. They're not, man. They're men's. They're men's glasses, man. Men's glasses. Men's glasses, yeah? Not women's glass.
No, it's men's.
Men's glass. Yeah. Men's glass, mate. What are you talking about? Not women's glass. So I don't expect much of the future, viewer, because we've already been signed away. I'm quite disheartened about the whole thing, to be honest. I don't know how to swallow it. You know, that we are under control, basically. Control. We are under total and utter control, just like every other country of this third party. Just as bad as America. Just as bad. Like, I didn't know that our politicians, mate, were dual citizens. I didn't know that. I've only just found that out in the last couple of days. That all of our politicians are dual citizens. Cop that. Dual citizens, mate. So we go for a little ride on the bus, mate, and we'll go and see the old man, just check with the lady, and everything should be good, mate. I generally go there tomorrow. It's a day off today, but it's not really a day off. You understand? In his eyes, he doesn't understand. You know, it's a public holiday. It's just Monday to him. So I'll go and drop this off to him, and he'll be happy, bro. Apparently, he's had a bit of a fall. He's like 85. He's a nice old chap, mate. He's a nice old chap.
Within a month.
And I look after him, and a lady looks after him.
Because they are not seeing any result.
Yeah, you don't want to move, mate. You don't want to move. You want to park in the middle of the road. It's popular today, mate, in seafood. Look at all this, man. Freaking heaps of people eating the seafood today. It's pretty popular here during the summer. During the winter, there's nobody here, mate. It's empty. The whole joint's empty in winter. It's only during the summer. It's nice here in winter. Good fishing here in winter. In summer, not so much good fishing. But in winter, good fishing. Come on, car. I think she's come out too far in the road, buddy. But anyway, what do I know? No, she's got plenty of room. Yeah, this Mexican place, mate, don't eat there. That's really bad in there. Really, really, like, horrible food. Like, you'll really regret, mate, if you go there for Mexican food, okay? I don't know how Indian people, Punjabi people can make Mexican food. Like, seriously, if you're going to choose something, man, choose your own nationality food. Yeah. John. No, mate. I haven't watched any of the tests. I haven't watched anyone, mate. Nothing, Gareth. Nothing, mate. Nothing, mate. No. Zilch. Zilch, brother. Nothing. Nothing. Never heard of him, Tess.
Hey, excuse me, you can stop.
Yeah, man, free. F-R-E-E, mate, F-R-E-E. Oh, the girls are back. It's good to be young. It's good to be young, brother. We're too old now. We've had our run, mate. We had our run. She's still thin. It's a beautiful day in the neighbourhood, a beautiful day to be a neighbour. Won't you be mine, won't you be mine, won't you be my neighbour? Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me. Yeah. Yep. Nothing to hold back, mate. Nothing to hold back. Here, mate. Rip you a new one, mate. Don't worry about that. Rip you a new one, that one, mate. Looks like the foreigners overseas aren't doing any good. A lot of them have been moved out, mate, all the foreigners, the streamers. What was that other guy that got busted the other day and got deported? What was all that about, mate? I've seen a couple of videos. He called the Philippines people apes. You know, like he was with a lady, a really pretty lady, and even the lady, like, you know what I mean? And I said, I thought to myself, that's not the proper nice thing to say, mate, and you're a foreigner in the country, on the live stream. I wasn't wrong, was I? Because, I mean, I think a couple of weeks later he got charged. He actually got charged for that. And they deported him, man. They deported that guy. So good on him, man, eh? Good on him, you know? very strict over there, mate. I think he would have got into a lot more trouble if he didn't apologise too, because he went on national TV and apologised really back when, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think if he didn't do that, he'd be in even more trouble, mate. He'd be in even more trouble. Philippines people are like respectful, you know. You got to have respect, rah. If you've done something wrong, you got to be apologetic. It's not like over here, mate. Yep, silver's up to $108 US an ounce. I cannot believe it, viewer. $108. Thank you very much, viewer, for reminding me. I am ecstatic. I'm absolutely ecstatic. You know, this proves me right. It proves me everything that I was saying those years ago, man, and you guys laughed at me. And if you hadn't listened to me, you would have been totally in front right now. You would be so far in front, it would be a joke. When I was telling you about silver, and I was telling you if you've got paper to buy silver, we were at $32 an ounce, $32, $35 an ounce. And then it flew up from $19 an ounce to $50 an ounce, and then it nosedived down to $28 an ounce. Remember that? It just nosedived because the paper contracts got on top of the market and totally swamped the market, and so drove the price back down again. And I told you guys it was an excellent buying opportunity, you know, to get in on this metal if you've got paper, to buy some metal. And if you haven't got any paper, just to slowly get some, just a couple of ounces every week or every month or whatever. If you had just done that, man, you would have had a stack. You know, you would have had a stack. So yeah, you know, now it's gone up to what you've just said, mate. I think it was in Australia, it's $160 an ounce, mate, Australian, at the ABC Bullion or Perth Mint, $160 an ounce. I was ecstatic. I can't believe it. I really can't. I fucking told you, blokes. I told you to buy. You know, I wasn't asking you to buy me anything. It wasn't a computer program or anything I was trying to sell you. I was telling you, go into the coin shops and get some of that silver, get some of that metal, get some ounces behind you. And no one listened to me, man. Everyone laughed at me. Everyone made fun of me. Yeah, suck shit now. Suck shit. Okay. Suck shit. Because it's nowhere near at the bottom. It's nowhere near reached its bottom, boys. We're talking minimum 300 an ounce. 300 to 500 an ounce. And that would be minimum. And then after that, it'll go even higher. It'll go even higher. If Trump invades Greenland, that's it. Forget it. You're looking at 350 an ounce. I'm just waiting for him to invade. I'm waiting for him to go in there, or another war to begin. Because as soon as another war begins, that's it. It skyrockets again. And they don't have it, mate. You know, they need 1.3 million ounces or some shit just for commercial use, you know, computers, telephones, mobiles, you know, the things that they make silver out of, you know. And then the missiles themselves. Well, you can't go to war, mate, if you haven't got a missile. And a missile uses 1 kilo of silver, you know, every single missile, 1 kilo. As soon as you blow that missile up, well, that silver's gone. It's gone forever. It's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. So they're just going to blow the shit out of everything, mate. And the dollar's going to shit. There is a lot of factors now. There's a lot of factors, mate. The American debt, you know, all of the countries' debts, all of the countries are in debt for trillions and trillions of dollars. You know, I was watching a video earlier and it added up all the countries' debt. It's $320 trillion. That's how much debt we got in the world. 320 billion, $320 trillion of debt. Okay, of debt. They can never pay it out. Can never get out of debt. So you need to get out of paper. You need paper to function. You know, the everyday bills, you need paper. Your electricity, your gas, your mortgage, you need paper because that's the paradigm that we live in. But in reality, your savings should be gold or silver. That is how you save money. You cannot save money with paper. It's impossible. You can leave it in the bank all you like. It's just going to devalue. The more currency that they print, the less value your money has in the bank because it devalues it. Okay? And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people look at their digits in the bank and think that they've got savings, and they don't have savings. They've just got digits in a bank. Only gold and silver is real. Only gold and silver can preserve your wealth and preserve your future. That's all it is. That's what it's for. And that's why the banks all want it. The billionaires want it. The millionaires want it. You know, the really rich people, they want metal. They're not interested in any paper, mate. The rich people don't save paper. Rich people, they don't, man. They save metal. You know, like there's places on Instagram, look them up, rich kids on Instagram, rich kids on Instagram. And it shows you the life of all the billionaire children, all the billionaire kids, mate. You know, like they buy physical items, physical shit, you know, and they all walk around with a bar of gold. Look on their Instagram, man, you know, and they'll tell you this is how we save money. This is how I save money, you know. And so they put a bar of gold away. They put a bar of gold away because it's always going to exist, man. You'll never lose. You can't lose, mate. Women are so loud all the time, aren't they? You know, they've got to be fucking loud all the time, eh? You know? And that cackling voice, bro. I swear to God, you'll be glad when you're single. You'll be glad. Yeah, I'm 55 today, mate. It's my birthday today. I'm 55, I think I am. Yeah, I'm 55, brother. So welcome to the stream and my little birthday stream. I'm just going to check up on this old man. He should be fine, mate, to be honest. But I said to the lady, I'll pop in. I've got nothing else to do. It's no big deal. And I've got to go there tomorrow. I was supposed to be there today, but it was a public holiday, so I didn't go there. And you know, he's asking about me. So yeah, because they think that you're not going to come. You know, it'll be the last time they see you. You know, why isn't he here? Is he going to come back? You know. Yeah, they get a little bit stressed. So he's had a bit of a fall apparently. He's like fallen over, and the lady asked me to come over and you know, check on him, kind of thing, say hello to him, and then he'll be fine. He's a nice old duck, mate. He's the one that I help during the week. I do all the cleaning for and stuff. Thanks, Mish. You have a good day now. Da, 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 da. No big deal, brother, no big deal. Gets me out of the house for a little while. You know, clears my head. You know, I don't get as, you know, as upset as I was before. Because I was pretty upset before, you know, like working out what these people have done to us, mate. You know, and then I look at them and I think, well, they're smarter than us, right? They're the clever ones, you know, they're the ones getting paid the big money, right? So then you go and look into the people themselves. You know, and that's what disgusts me, that these people are dual citizens and have signed my ass away. Fucking dual citizen with another country. You are not even fucking loyal to Australia. Your laws are passed because you want that legality over us. And I find that just fucking foul and disgusting, boys. You know, dual citizen, brother. Not even in this country, mate. Yeah? So the Prime Minister, all of those ministers, mate, that signed, you know, the Josh Frydenbergs and all of that signed, mate, they're all dual citizens, brother. Every one of them are dual citizens. You understand what that means? If their loyalty goes to the other country, it's not to us. Like, I wish I could say to you that their loyalty is to us, right? But it's not. It's fucking not, mate. That's what makes me sick, bro. That's what makes me sick. And they really thought that everybody was so stupid and wouldn't find out the real info, brother. Like, they really did. They thought that nobody would find out. You know what I mean? Like, we can't look up the information, we can't look it up ourselves, we can't Google it, we can't look up videos explaining shit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to find out. Like, they really do think we are that stupid. You know? Like, we're just sheep. Just agree on everything, keep your opinion to yourself, agree on everything, and that's about it, really. They don't want to hear from you. They won't even answer a question. I was disgusted in that four-eyed fuck that's fucking our Prime Minister, mate. A gutless little fucking prude shrew that he is. He is so gutless as a man. You know, he really is. He's just so gutless. And he's at some media thing. I like annoying this dog. Is he there today? No, he's not there. Normally he's jumping up on the fence by now. No, he's not there. But yeah, look up the Prime Minister, look up more up, mate, dual citizens. Dual citizens with Ishmael. That's pretty sick, man. That's pretty sick, man. Sorry, but where is your loyalty? Where is your loyalty? Hey man, am I allowed to have a dual citizenship? Because as far as I know, I'm not allowed to have that as a normal person. Like, I'm not allowed to have a dual citizenship. I'm pretty sure that I'm not allowed, to be honest. I'll have to look that up on the internet, mate. I'll have to Google it and see if an Australian citizen can be a dual citizen with that country, and see what the answer is, mate, on Google. Because as far as I know, you're not allowed to be a dual citizen, mate. Okay, I think when we give the oath of Australia, that's just for Australia. You know, you're not allowed to have any dual stuff going on. I remember for America, you can't. For America, I couldn't. Like, it was either, you know, have the green card or come back to Australia. You know, that was the choice. You can't have both. You can't have both. But yeah, but I reckon silver's going to fly, dude. That's just the start of it. I don't think $100 is where it's going to sit. I think it's going to go a lot more than that, to be honest. I just think that the market manipulation is over now. You know, the market manipulation of it is. You know, it was all paper contracts before, bro. You know, all paper contracts. And they could just slam it on the market. It drives the price down. They don't have to take delivery of the metal. They can just swap the contract back and forth or extend the contract out. So that all they want to do is drive the price down. That's all they wanted to do. But now it's got to a point where there's 350 million ounces out there of something paper silver. So there's too much paper silver. That's my point. They cannot cover all the shorts. There is not enough metal out there. And so now they've been calling in the shorts. They've been calling them in, the contracts. They're calling them in, and they're demanding metal, mate. They're demanding metal. So it's kind of changing the landscape for them, you know. And there's nothing they can do now, man. There is nothing they can do. And in China, all you look up is the Shanghai Stock Exchange, and you'll see that it's even more than what the US are offering for silver. Because over in Shanghai, they deal in physical metal, physical. There's no paper contracts over in Shanghai. You know, you buy metal, right? There's no paper contract. In America, there's no physical, it's all paper. So it's all promises, and they don't deliver. So once you get too many people that can't deliver, mate, then the market's going to explode because they won't be able to hold it down anymore. And their paper contracts normally used to lower the market don't work anymore. They don't work. You know, they reckon that for every 350 contracts that there is one real physical bar of silver, which is just ridiculous. I mean, that's a lot of promises out there, a lot of pieces of paper saying that you own this piece of metal, but there's 300 other people that have the same piece of paper. Yeah? So, and then you call it in and then everyone else goes broke because it's called force majeure, where they have to actually pay out the contract. They have to come up with the paper. You see, they have to actually pay it out instead of waiting for the metal. And the metal may have risen all of that time, may have been rising, and they'll just cancel the contract. They'll cancel it because they can't supply it at the price that you got the contract for, because it's risen too much. And it's going to cost the company millions of dollars in order to get that metal to you, because it's been rising too far. So all of those contracts are going to get called in, man. And all the other countries are dumping their debt. They're dumping their bonds. They're dumping anything American. They don't want nothing to do with the American currency, and they'll trade everything they've got, mate, in all their commodities for gold and silver, or oil for gold, oil for the they'll trade it, bro. They'll trade their way out of it, mate. They won't be doing this American spin wheel thing. We need American money. It just won't work that way. It's not working that way now. And the UAE, the Saudi Arabia, they're not signing the contract anymore, man. They're out of the contract for their oil for dollars now. Thank you, sir. So they're no longer doing business with America anymore. So all of that money that used to go to buy oil is no longer, they're not using it. They want gold, mate. They want silver. They want real assets, real commodities for their oil. And the other countries are giving that, mate. Russia, all of that, BRICS nations, they're paying for their commodities with gold. They're not using the American dollar. So it's a matter of time before all that inflation comes back into the country, and it's starting to drop. It's going to really drop badly. Next, year or so, half a year, depending what Trumpy does, depending what the Orange Man does. If Orange Man invades, if Orange Man goes into Greenland, then you can expect everything to triple. It'll just triple. Everything will triple because of that, because of his invading. Any kind of war, and it'll triple, mate. Oil, gold, silver. There's nothing holding them back anymore. There's nothing, mate. Gold should be at $10,000 an ounce. Silver should be around $700-800 an ounce. That's where it should be. That's the historical value if you did the dollar value, compared to the old days. Yeah. Things would be a lot cheaper too, mate. If we were still on the metal standard, if we were still on gold and silver standard, things would be a lot cheaper. But right now we are on inflationary standard. Just printing. So the debt is incredible. The amount of debt. So that lowers the value of your money, which makes everything around you cost more. Everything around you, everything you buy costs more, because the dollar is worth less and less and less, and the commodities are worth more. The brilliant thing about metal is even if everything crashes, right, it goes to zero, right, everything crashes, right, you can still take your metal and barter. You can trade. You need a tank full of petrol, so you would go to the petrol station and you'd have 1 ounce of silver, and you would just trade the 1 ounce of silver for an entire tank of petrol. Okay? Because it's trade. You need your car fixed, so you do the equivalent in silver dollars. You do the equivalent of it, and give silver, give metal for that work. A packet of cigarettes, the same thing, man. Break off a piece of silver, because that's going to be the only physical thing that these people are going to have. It's going to become a point in time, viewer, down the track, many years from now. I'll be dead. It'll be for the not this generation, but for the next generation. They're training everybody up with your digital ID, your digital currency. It'll all be in your hand. Everywhere you go, it'll be in your hand. And you'll just tippy-tappy everywhere you go. And whatever credit you got, that's in the chip, yeah? And if you do anything wrong, they turn the chip off, and that's the end of your life. And that is when the metals will be king. Metal will be king, because you won't be able to get metal. You won't be allowed to. There is no way the government is going to let gold and silver with digital currency. There is just no way. It's not going to happen. Now, they'll outlaw it. They'll ban it. You're not allowed to use it. It's for government strategic only, strategic metal. So it's not available to the public. They need every ounce they've got. And then they'll come door knocking. They'll come door knocking, mate. They'll come looking for whoever's got metal. And people have been buying over the years. They go to these normal bullion shops, or they go to one of these wherever they go and buy their metal, mate, it's always on a computer, and the government knows exactly when you bought it, how much you bought it, when, you know, they know exactly everything you got. So they'll just add that shit up, and they'll say, look, you're only allowed 100 ounces, you're only allowed 100 ounces, and then they'll come and confiscate whatever else you got. If it's sitting in the house in the safe, they'll take everything you got, everything. They'll confiscate it, and they'll call it a strategic metal, and then you will be charged. You will get charged a strategic metal. They will call your collecting and your stacking years bought legally. They will call that hoarding. You are hoarding the metal, so they will charge you. That you'll be in jail. They'll take your metal and they'll put you in jail. They'll charge you for it. You watch. Don't think I'm joking, because that's already happening in China. It's already happening now. That already happened like a month ago to very wealthy people in China that bought metal and bought silver and gold legally paying taxes. It's in a vault. They're paying for the vault space. They're paying for all the security guards, everything. Completely legal. And they went in and confiscated it. And then they put those people in jail. And they charged them with hoarding a strategic metal. And that's all it takes. It just takes the government in their wiseness and their crooked and their corruptness to just change the wording on a law, just change the wording. And that makes it illegal. It'll make it illegal, okay? And then they just come along and shear the sheep, you might say, shear the sheep. And they'll make it illegal, just like they did in the US. Like they did it years ago. They revalued gold, remember that? So don't think that they're not capable of it. Don't think that the laws don't exist, because they've already done it in the past. And they will do it in the future. Because we are nothing but plebs, mate. We are plebs, mate. All of us are plebs, mate. You are pleb, mate. On an open plantation, you're nothing but a debt slave. You're a debt slave, brother. You need to get that into your head, sister. You're walking around on an open plantation. That's it. No bars, no guards, an open plantation. And as long as you obey all the laws and pay all their fees and charges and do exactly what they tell you to do, you're allowed to be open in the plantation. But it doesn't change what you are. You are a fucking pleb, mate. Okay? You are a pleb. And that is why the Prime Minister, you know, if he gets asked a question by a pleb, he just tells the pleb to be quiet. He tells the pleb to be quiet. He doesn't answer the question, and that's a voter. That's the person that voted for him. And he'll tell that person to be quiet. You're not authorised media. I don't answer questions unless you're authorised media. And that's why that happens. Because they don't give a fuck about it. People think that they care about you. You better wake the fuck up. You really need to wake up. You need to wake up. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't care about nothing except power. Power and more power. And the only power they've got, mate, is rules and regulations and fees and charges for me and you to obey. And that's why you've got the anti-Semitic and hate bills, and you've got all the anti-protest bills. You've got, I mean, Jesus, you can't even speak your mind, mate, without even facing 5 years jail. That is how pathetic Australia is. That is how Nancy state we are, mate. It really is. And it all just protects the one group. It just protects the one group, dude. It doesn't protect me and you. It doesn't protect the bloke looking, that's a white boy. White boy, it doesn't protect the white boy. Okay, if white boy says anything, if white boy says a word, that's racism. White boy is not allowed to have an opinion. White boy is racist, okay? So it's amazing that it's racism when it's a white man talking. It's only racism when I'm talking, a white man is talking. A brown person can say exactly the same words and it's not racism. I swear to God, he can say exactly what you're saying and it's approved. It's approved. If you say it, it's called racism. It's so weird, man. But that's the government that we have. That's the government that we have, mate. You know. And it's all on purpose. It is to divide us and to get us fighting amongst each other and to divide us. Because the more the government can divide us and get us arguing and fighting over bullshit, the easier it is to govern us. The easier it is to get laws like they've been passing, and they can get it through, man. They can get it through. They can get it passed. Because there's too many people arguing against each other, and they're not thinking of what we need as a nation, what we need as Australians, mate. Because they don't even think that we have an Australia. You know, they don't even think that Australia exists, mate. We don't have a culture of our own. We don't have a thing of our own. You know what I mean? Like, we only exist through other subcultures. Through other cultures we exist. You know, apparently we don't have a culture of our own. So, which is really weird to me. I grew up here. So, that is really weird to hear. But, you mean, okay, we've had instances in the live stream the last, you know, couple of weeks, you know. We had an instance with a Zionist. You know, this morning we had an instance with the Zionist, doesn't like what I was saying, so he wants to give his opinion on the live stream like it mattered. And then 2 weeks ago we had an almost a punch on with a Muslim man. Because the Muslim man, he doesn't like what I'm saying, whatever, I don't know what I was saying. But the difference is the Muslim man, he wants to punch on. He uses violence. He uses violence. Whereas we use words. We disagree, we walk away. You disagree with that, and he wants to actually do harm. You've seen how the guy was on live stream, man. So, you know, he wanted to do harm. You know, he wants to actually hit you and cause harm because you're talking about something that he doesn't like. So his reaction is violence. So you've got to remember that. That's what they barrel down to, is violence. So it's not worth bringing them on, mate. It's not worth debating them or whatever. It's just not. Because the minute that you're winning, you're going to get violence. Yeah, mate. But whoever voted, mate, whatever politician voted those laws in, just so you understand, viewer, any politician that voted the hate speech laws in is an absolute traitor, to the Australian people. It's a traitor to who we are. Okay, they are traitors for signing that piece of paper. And the reason they're a traitor is because men died for our freedoms. Men went to war and died in order for me to get online and talk shit. In order for anybody that wants to talk shit. Whatever they want to talk, they're allowed to talk, mate. And men died for that. Okay, men, you know, back in the 19, whatever it was, they lied in order to go to war. You know, you had 14 and 15-year-old children, mate, that lied in order to go to war. And a lot of them, mate, they died. A lot of men died. And they died for our liberty, for our freedom of speech, and for our country. And the politicians have signed that away. Everything that those men died for, everything that they represent and that they died for, is become worthless, become worth nothing, because those politicians, the multi-millionaire politicians, have signed it away. They signed those rights away to what the soldiers did. So no, mate, I don't know how you vote for them. I don't know how you just don't walk past a poster and just piss on the poster, because that's all they're worth, mate, is to piss on the poster. Thank you, driver. Thank you. They're certainly not worth your vote. They're not worth your time getting to know any of them. They're all fucking traitors, mate. They signed that bill. Traitors, mate. Traitors to the Australian people, brother. Total traitors. So now when it becomes vote time, now you're going to understand why I go off at these freaking politicians, mate. These corrupted fucking politicians. Good for nothing fucking parasites, mate. That's what they are. Good for nothing parasites on 400 grand a year plus all expenses paid. And they want to sit there and they're going to dictate to you and your children how you should and shouldn't live, what you should post, how you should fucking talk. You know, don't like this. Oy vey, you're going to do 5 years fucking jail, mate. Yeah? So people need to wake up, brothers. They need to wake up, sisters. And I don't know if you've got any paper in the bank and you can go in even at 100 an ounce. It's still worth getting something if you've got nothing. If you've got nothing, then viewer, you know, you're going to be in a worse off position. But wouldn't it have been great, mate, if you jumped in at $23 an ounce or $32 an ounce? Fucking feel, you fucking monkey. How do you feel, viewers, when I was telling you this shit years ago and you all laughed at me? And here I am right now, $108 US an ounce. And that's nothing. Wait until the stock market opens next week. Wait, just wait. I'm expecting a slam down. I'm expecting a little slam down and then a fucking kaboom straight up the other way. A fucking big kaboom, mate. Look, man, I estimate $350 to $500 an ounce. That's what I estimate. It won't stop there. Don't sell your metal, mate. Even if it gets to 350 to 500 an ounce, still don't sell the metal. Do not sell, mate. Do not sell. It is the only thing that is separating you from the fucking sheep. It's the only thing separating you. You know, all the sheep have it, mate. They've all got debt. All these fucking fancy cars, the fancy homes they have, and all the caravans and toys they have, and all of their credit cards and all of their debt. They've got debt. You know, the only thing I'd have a credit card for, mate, is to buy fucking metal. Just to buy more fucking metal, then pay the credit card off. That's the only fucking reason, man. You know, because it's going to be a huge, big wealth transfer. Okay, a big wealth transfer. When these countries, mate, have dropped all of their bonds and they're all out, all the BRICS nations, you know, all Brazil, Russia, India, China, when they have gotten rid of all of their bonds that they've got, that's when you're going to hear the kaboom. And it's going to be a nuclear kaboom. You know, an explosion on the fucking stock exchange. Because they've dumped all of their fucking stuff, bro. They've dumped it all. And they're carrying metal only. Sorry, guys.
There you go, mate.
All good. Enjoy your day. It's a lovely day, mate. It's a lovely day out here today, mate. I live in a beautiful place. I live across the road from the ocean, mate. I can open my front door up and I can hear the waves. Yeah? And, mate, it's a wonderful thing living alone. You know, I can get out of the shower, boys. You know, I can have a little walk around the apartment, mate. Fucking balls out everywhere, brother. There's balls in the living room, balls in the fucking, out in the kitchen. There's just balls everywhere. Everywhere I look, it's balls out, mate, okay? I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to do anything. I can do the old natural fucking dry, mate. You give it a good shake. You know, the old ball shake, mate. You know, it's just balls out everywhere, as it should be. Oh, Jesus, boys. Yeah, I'm starting to feel better in the mind. There is nothing that I can do about it, and if I don't have any big paper, if I had big paper, I'd be able to take her back to court. That's what it's all about. Just how much money you got. So I don't have any money. So I've kind of gotten used to it. My daughter will find me, and it doesn't matter what orders I have anyway. The person's not going to obey a fucking thing. She's never obeyed anything in 4 years, and it's always my fault. I'm this, I'm that. So I'm fucking sick of looking at her voice. I'm sick of fucking looking at her head. So, you're not going to get anything anyway. Even if you got 50% on paper, even if you got everything you fucking wanted, the person is not going to obey anything. Okay? That's just the truth. She's not. Okay? And the parents are very, very wealthy, so they'll sit in court for fucking years. Anyway, I hope my daughter has a good life. You know, she's very wealthy. My daughter will be well taken care of. She'll travel all around the world. She'll eat really good food. She'll have really nice clothes to wear. I hope that she doesn't get stuck in fucking China, because a new law has come out in China. They take your passport off you at the airport, brothers and sisters, in China if you're a Chinese person. Apparently that's what's been going on. That should be exciting for her. You're getting off the airport, and fucking the government takes possession of your passport, and then you've got to ask permission to go again. So I don't know if that's the reality. I don't know if that was in China Insights on YouTube. That was one of their videos. So I don't think they can take my daughter's passport because that's Australian, but they can take hers. So I don't know what happens after that. But if my kid ever needs to come back to Australia, yeah, hopefully she can come back to Australia. She's got an Australian passport, and if it ever come down to that, you know what I mean? Like I'd get my daughter, and then try and get the mother. You know, because I don't want the mum and everyone separated. Like, you know, I feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do what she's doing, basically. Yeah. So I'd probably help in trying to get her back into Australia, mate, for the kids' sake. Yeah. But I think they're having problems over there, mate. They're taking the passports at the airport now. That's their new regulations, brother. So they've been knocking back people leaving the country. They've been knocking people back. So at the airport. So I don't know, range of shit over there. And it's not just us boys. I was watching a few of these China Insight videos, man. There's a guy on there, had raised 3 children, and all of them not his. He had no idea until he was sick, and he had to go and get a blood test done, and that's when he found out that the 3 children aren't his. And that would have been just, you could just see the bloke was devastated, totally devastated. And she didn't want the kids. You know, she wants him to take care of the kids, and they're not his children. It's just ironic, mate, isn't it? It's ironic. The games they play, buddy. So no, you get to my age, mate, please enjoy your peace, mate. Gentlemen, it doesn't matter how old you are. Try and enjoy the peace in your life that you have. You know, I don't know where you live or what your situation is, but you need peace in your life. You don't need, you know, other third parties around you, fourth parties, fifth parties around you, getting in your ear, talking a whole bunch of shit, or you're hanging out with people that are doing a whole bunch of bullshit and that are going to get you into trouble or could lead you down a path. And, you know, you need to follow that voice inside you that says, look, man, let's get out of here. You know, like, this is not who we are. And that's the voice that spoke to me when the other 2 boys, when I was young, they wanted to rob the fucking computer shop. You know, and I sit down at the table and I listen to 2 minutes of what they're saying, and my voice said to me, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. We don't rob fucking joints. We don't go through windows and shit. What the fuck? And that's what I said to the boys. Look, man, can you imagine me at 4 o'clock in the morning crawling through a fucking window? Are you shitting me? I am too fucking ripped by then, brother. I'm fucking crashed out fucking by then, okay? I'm not crawling through a window. And also, what am I going to tell my girlfriend? What the fuck are you expecting me to tell my girlfriend? You know, where I am. You think my girlfriend's going to let me go out until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and not tell her where I am? Because she's just not going to do it. You know, my chick will automatically think you're up to something, right? So I said, I'm out. You know, I bow out. But always listen to your little voice inside you, man. You know, the same one that I was over here and I was chatting to her in China. And my little voice said, just go for it, man. You got nothing to lose, bro. You're not doing anything. You're not going anywhere. You may as well just get a backpack on, get a passport and just go anyway. At least you get to see another part of the world. You know, you get to open your eyes up a little bit, you know? Like, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, you know what I mean? There's no guarantee of anything. You're just going over and seeing someone you met on the internet. That's all you're doing. There was no promises or anything made, dude. It was just, I'm going to come and meet you. You know, I've been talking to you for months and months. I'm not doing anything. I'll come and meet you. And, you know, you tell me you want a husband, you want a foreign husband, rah, rah, rah. So they say the good words to you. So you think, okay, then I'll go and have a visit, mate. I enjoyed myself anyway, mate. I can't complain. And I wasn't stupid. I told you, boys, let them fucking talk, mate. I've told you this before and all. And I found out it was a Machiavelli fucking law, mate. Cop that. And I didn't even know. I had no idea. I only found, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, I found the Machiavelli video about it. And that is to remain silent. I think that's what it's called, remain silent. And I called it don't show your cards. Let them think how fucking smart they are and how genius they are and how stupid you are. That you can't see what they're doing and you can't hear what they're doing. Let them play their cards and don't show yours. And then from that point onwards, you plan. You plan your exit. You plan how to get some fucking paper out of this because you know you're going to get shafted. You're going to get absolutely fucking shafted, mate, if you don't find some way of pulling some kind of paper funds out of this man. Okay? Reward for your fucking efforts, brother. So that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I did. You know, I seen that shit coming ahead of time. I hoped for the difference, but I knew it was coming. You know, and I can't steer the car. There's nothing more I can do to steer the car. The car's off the fucking road. It's 4-wheel driving right now. It's 4-wheel driving, brother. I can't get it back on the road. So you know you got to fuck. It's a matter of time, man. All you got to do is read these fucking women, brother. You got to read these bitches properly. You got to understand their fucking their signals in their face. You got to understand their mannerisms, right? Read the mannerisms in their face. Read the reactions when you say something to them. Ignore things and they'll say things, man. Like that fucking, she was stupid enough to sit there and she actually told me to my face that you will not be here when she goes to school. You know? Like seriously, straight to your face. You know, you're not going to be here when she goes to school. And so I just ignored it. Okay? Because to me that's a card tell. It's like playing poker. You've just shown your cards. Okay? So I've got 3 years. That's what I thought to myself. I've got maybe 2.5 years because that's when she's going to go to school. So the plan is to keep me around until it's time to go to school, and then it's time for me to get rid of me. So there's your time schedule. That's in her head alone, and she's let it all out. It's up to you to put it all together, 1, 2, and 3 together, and it's up to you to whether actually to realise that is what's going on, and to face that. You know, not ignore it. You know, not go to yourself, oh no, I'm going to be wrong, or I'm wrong. You know, and not trust what this person is saying to you, because she's going to lie to you. She's going to lie to you, which is exactly what they did. They lie and they lie and they lie in order to cover themselves, you know, because they want the maximum they can out of it. Yeah? The maximum. In other words, everything. They want everything. And that's exactly what they get. Okay? So, no, man. Is it worth it? You know, is it worth it, boys? Is it worth all the stress? Is it worth the upheaval in your life? Is it worth the time lost? You know, the money lost or your chances lost? You know, because you're not a father, you're not a husband. You know, your chances lost now that's been taken from you. So, you know, is it worth it? And it probably isn't. The only thing that is worth it is Echo. You know, you had a child. You know, you were able to have a child. So that is worth it, yeah? But anything else, it's not. It's not. It's a complete waste of your time. And an absolutely horrible experience. Just the worst of the worst of the worst. Just horrible. Ugh. Yeah, I wouldn't wish that on an enemy, brother. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't wish that on fucking someone that I don't like. Yeah, I wouldn't wish that, but I'd rather wish you happy. I'd rather wish someone that actually loved you. You know what I mean? Like really loved you. Let me tell you, boys, no one that loves you is going to leave you every 6 months to go on holiday. No one that loves you is going to do that. No one that loves you is going to look at you and go, I need a week's holiday for every month that I'm with you. I need a week's holiday and I need no contact. I don't want any contact. No one that loves you is going to do that, boys. Okay? So you take all that paper and you buy metal. You take all that fucking paper, mate, and you buy metal. You don't give her anything, mate. If there's house bills to be fucking, let her pay them. Mortgage, let her pay it. It's her house, right? All the demands come in, right? Why in the fuck are you still paying the bills? Fuck her. Let her fucking pay it, mate. Let her fucking pay it. You know, she's just giving you a timetable, bro. So you better get as much out of it in that small amount of time as you can, because otherwise you're going to walk out with nothing. And this person would prefer you walk out with nothing. Like really seriously. Yeah, absolutely. All of that money would have went straight to Daegu shopping. I wouldn't have had a single penny, brother. All of it would have went to Daegu shopping. You know, it would have went to ice cream. You know, fucking milk powder shit. That's what it would have went to, man. You know, okay? That's what it would have went to, brothers and sisters. So you got to fucking wake up to these people. Ladies, the same thing. Don't be conned by these fucking men, mate. Don't be fooled by these fucking men. And let me just tell you, ladies, just so I fucking told you, no Muslim man is going to fucking love you unless you're a Muslim woman. So don't fucking pretend that you're so wonderful that a Muslim man is going to love you unless you're a fucking Muslim. Because that is the facts and that is the truth. Okay, you know, I see a lot of these Muslim men on TikTok, the Lebanese Muslims, mate, have conned a lot of Australian women out of their entire life savings. Their entire life savings, mate. I think it was Palo Warrior, he got over $400,000 off one woman. Mons, Queen Bee, over $300,000. Over 300 grand. He opens up his bank, mate. He's got nearly $1 million sitting in his bank account that he brags about. And 300,000 of that is that lady's. And that's not a Muslim lady. That's an Australian lady. Okay? And she can turn around him and go, Mons, I really love you. I've spent too much this week. I've got electricity or whatever. And she asked for $1,000 back. And he refused to give it to her. He refused. You know, you gave that to me as a gift. You know, you gave that to me as gifts. So, yeah, I'm not giving you anything back. It's mine now. So, that, you know, at least he said to his thing, you know, once I get to $1 million, I'll quit TikTok. So that's what he did. He got to $1 million, man, and he quit. That's amazing, dude. To earn $1 million on TikTok is amazing. What a feat. You know, what an absolute feat, mate. But then you look at someone like Palo Warrior, and Palo Warrior has earned, I don't know, 3 times that amount. Okay? Yeah, seriously. And he's there every day. Every day he's on the live, mate. We have fun, we have fun. Well, that's another day for me and another $1. Another quick visit. I've probably got nothing to drink inside. From memory, I don't think I've got anything to drink from inside. Happy Australia Day, mate. Happy Australia Day, mate. It's also my birthday today. So happy birthday to me and happy Australia Day to you, and I hope you have a good day, mate, okay? I think it'll be one in the few days we've got left, mate, to celebrate anything Australian. I think we're running out of time, mate, to celebrate anything Australian. And the shop is just about to close, 7 o'clock, mate, just about to close. Hope you're well, mate, and government did. No, total betrayal. The government have betrayed the people. They are traitors. Anybody that signed that bill, the Prime Minister, any of those ministers that signed that bill into law, are traitors of the people. Without a doubt, absolute traitors. They have taken away everything that the soldiers fought for, everything that the soldiers represent. People died in a war to give us the freedoms that we have. Sorry, man, just cleaning my dirty feet, mate. Filthy feet, mate. I should have went past the other shop on the way home. I could have got an actual drink. I've got nothing to drink, mate. Let me have a look. As far as I can remember, I don't have anything. Yeah, I've got coffee milk. That's all I've got, brothers. I've got coffee milk. And it's quite sad, mate. They did it happily. They took our rights away happily. No second thoughts, no disagreement, no nothing, mate. And the thing is that they're so fucking gutless. They're so gutless, man. They don't even actually make the laws. They didn't write the law. They didn't do it. All they did, mate, is introduce the law. You know, all they did is get the law passed. But they didn't actually write the law. This is what really annoys me, is that they're not even smart enough to write the fucking laws. You know, they're not clever enough, mate. They're just well-paid puppets. That's all they are. They're well-paid puppets. And they're absolute traitors. Traitors to the Australian people, traitors to our soldiers, traitors to everything that we believe in. Everything that we trust as normal Australians, they have betrayed. And if you look into our ministers, mate, the Prime Minister, the opposition, all of them, look into all of them, and you'll find that they are all dual citizens. Dual fucking citizens, brothers. What, are you kidding me? So this cunt's got fucking citizenship of Ishmael. Him and Ishmael have got citizenship together. So are you trying to tell me that this guy who's on $500,000 a year, he doesn't give a fuck about you? He doesn't care about me. His loyalty is not to us. His loyalty is to his people over here that are giving him the big money, that have made the promises. After you leave office, you can come and work for us. So, and these cunts are so cheap. You fucking Aussies are cheap. What the fuck's wrong with you? For $100,000, you'll sign it over. 200 grand and that's it. He's your man. He's your man. He'll get on the plane and kiss the wall. He'll do everything you want him to do. Give him dual citizenship and you fucking own him. You own him. Like he is forever in your debt. Okay? So as far as I'm concerned, mate, they're all traitors. Anybody that signed that bill, that signed the agreement, that said, yep, that's a good idea, hate speech and anti-Semitism, and, you're just a bad person for making a comment we don't like, or, putting a picture that we don't like, or, yeah, mate, you deserve 5 years jail. You deserve 5 years jail. You're not allowed to protest the government anymore, apparently. Apparently the government are just so fucking special that you're not allowed to protest them now. I swear to God, there's some new fucking law, and we're not allowed to protest the government. Like they're so fucking, they're so special. You know what I mean? You can't, even words hurt them. Words hurt them now. So they don't want you protesting about Ishmael. They don't want you protesting about fucking anything. Brown people can protest. Brown people can protest whatever they want. You're not allowed to. You're a white bloke. You're a white bloke, okay? You're a white bloke. It's as simple as that. They can pretend all they want, but it's only racism when it's a white boy talking it. When it's a white boy talking, it's racism. A brown bloke can say exactly the same words and it's not racist. It's not. Okay? It's only racist when I say it. You're looking a little bit white over there, okay? So we regard that as fucking racist. I don't watch Kick. I'm not on Kick. I don't know who Samuel Pepper is, mate. I don't give a fuck who he is. So I'm not on Kick. So I don't know who you're talking about. Or you're talking about that prepper lady. Is that who you're talking about? I don't know. I don't know anybody other than that lady. And I don't know the lady either. That's the only person I know from there. So yes, it's happy birthday to me, mate, okay? It's my birthday today. All right, Lord Dobby's fucking birthday, mate. All right? And I've got to try and make a friendly stream so I don't get kicked off YouTube. And my streams don't get taken down. They're getting age restricted, mate, because you're not allowed to talk about Ishmael. And you're not allowed to talk about the government. You're not allowed to say anything they don't like. You're allowed to have a comment they don't like, mate. They're about as weak as fucking any TikTok streamer. The government is as weak as any TikTok streamer. They're about the same. They're about on par. They're about as afraid of their fucking shadow, mate. But they'll use it to control the people. That's all it's about, boys. It's about taking control of the internet. It's about taking control of people's comments and the way that they interact. And they really, really are desperate for control over the internet. Over this, over TikTok, over streaming, over YouTube, anywhere where you're allowed to voice your opinion, they need control over it. They need control. And if you don't fucking say what they like, they want to be able to turn you off. They want to be able to ban you and get you off the internet because you're talking about things that they don't approve of, It's like that guy in the stream earlier, comes into us, he says, I really like what you're saying and I approve of everything that you're saying, except this, and then he goes into his Zionist fucking diatribe, right? So they accept everything that you're saying, but you're not allowed to talk about them. That's basically it. You're not allowed to talk about them, you know. Imagine thinking you're the chosen ones. I'm chosen, so you're not allowed to talk about me. I'm just so fucking special, you're not allowed to talk about me. It sounds like my ex-wife, you know what I mean? I'm just so fucking special, you're not allowed to talk about me. You know, I need a lifetime order against you. I just laughed. A lifetime order. You've taken my children, you've taken 6 years of my life, you took everything that I ever worked for, and you need an order on me, do you, so that I don't talk about it. Fucking, that seems logical. That's really logical to me. You need a court order for that. Like, fuck. Anyway, I need a bottle of drink, man. I've got nothing to drink but milk. So I'll get something to drink, mate. Before the shop closes, bro. There's always people kicking around at the beach, mate. Da, 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 da. It's a beautiful day in the neighbourhood, a beautiful day to be a neighbour. Won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbour? Yeah, I should have walked the other way home. I didn't think of that. I could have got a bottle on the way home and saved me the trip. Oh, it's hot, boys. Oh, oof. Happy Australia Day, boys and girls. I hope Australia kicks it this year. I hope you all kick it this year. I hope you have a good year. You know, I hope you meet someone that loves you. You know, you love them. If not, mate, I hope that you're happy in your peace. You know, you're happy in your peace, mate. When you wake up in the morning, I wake up and I've got no one in the apartment. It's peaceful, bro. You know, I haven't got a woman fucking driving me crazy, mate, asking me bullshit questions. You know, yak, yak, yak all the time. And everything, the only thing she wants to hear is yes. You know, yes to this, yes to no, yes, just yes. Okay? You're not allowed to say the word no. Live in peace, brothers. Had better days. Oh, jeez, mate, she's fucking hot. Hello, how you doing, Sonal Sharma? Hope you're well, man. I don't know, Snot Man, got no idea, mate. I've got no contact with anybody anymore. You know, she has full custody of Echo. I'm not allowed to see or speak to Echo. And, yeah, that's just disgusting, man. Just absolutely disgusting. And so I don't know. I don't know anything of what country they're in or what she's doing or what school or, you know, how dare I, right? I'm just the father. The only thing I'm good for, mate, is child support. You know, make sure you pay your child support, right? But, yeah, they'll take custody off you. They'll demand that you never see her again. But they will demand that you pay money every month. You know, so I still pay my child support, mate. And, but now, I don't get anything. I never got anything anyway. I mean, let's face it, that's just facts. the court order was never obeyed ever in 4 years. I was robbed of the time that I'm supposed to have, and I was blamed for that. It was my fault, this, that and the other. It's always my fault. Women have no accountability, brother. Just none at all. It is always going to be your fault, whatever the problem is or whatever it is. And the proof is in any woman that you meet. The minute that she talks about her ex, it's always how bad the ex is. Is this. You'll never meet a woman that actually says anything nice about her ex. They're all DV, they're all abusive, every fucking one of them is the same story, man. So you can't win. You can't win, mate. It doesn't matter how much you buy in court or how long you go to court for, or, they can just ignore the court order. They don't have to obey anything. It's a nice dog. But they don't have to obey the court order. They can just ignore everything, bro. And every time you've got to go back to court all the time. And then they just put more allegations against you. They don't answer to anything. And you're just on this merry-go-round all the time. And the whole time they don't have to obey any court order. And there's no accountability for it. They just put it all back on you. It's the man's fault all the time. And with these fucks, mate, back in the old days when I first got a court order, you know how you're supposed to remove everything and you got 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever. Well, of course, they scrolled all the way through my Facebook. They found a comment that I liked, and they found a picture that I didn't delete. And they put that down to DV. DV, mate. They put it on my charge sheet as DV, domestic violence, in case you don't know what that is. And I mean, that's not, you forgetting a picture or you not removing a comment is not fucking DV. So, that's what they used in family law court. You've committed all these DVs against her and she's in fear of her life. What the fuck are you even talking about? Like they really exaggerate a picture you didn't delete. So they'll use any reason they can to take your children from you. That's basically the end of the story, mate. They use any reason they can. The lawyers are really good at that. That's what they get paid for. And my lawyer, who I spent months and months with in my case, who wasn't really giving me any good advice. It was really bad advice all the time. And she was the one that tried to get me to sign my daughter over, my own lawyer. And so 3 days before the court case, she's quit. And when I go to the court case, she's now working for the ex. She's on the other side of the table advising my ex-wife. Then that was my lawyer. And in Australia, that's not conflict of interest. That's perfectly fine, So my own lawyer was trying to get me to sign up while she was actually working for the opposition. You know what I mean? So I was at the court, mate, and the judges and the lawyer have congratulated themselves. They've done a great job getting together and discussing the court case and coming up with the conclusion. And so these two fucks got together, mate, in a private room. The father wasn't even represented. His interests weren't represented. And they've made their own arrangement before the court even started. And now they're in court congratulating each other on what a great decision they've made. But the father was never involved in any of that at all. That was done in a private room between the two of them. They've made an arrangement to sign your ass away, brother, to sign your fatherhood away. And that's what these people did. Because in reality, they know they're dealing with a woman that is not going to agree to anything. She's only going to agree to what she wants. So they know she's not going to agree to any order at all. She hasn't obeyed anything in 4 years. So that's what they did, man. And that person's really wealthy. They've paid off the house and they're really wealthy. They're going to go travelling and going to go to different countries and do this, this and this. It's their parents' money. Their parents are very, very wealthy. They're not wealthy, the parents are. So, my kid will be looked after. She'll have nice clothes and good food to eat. She'll just grow up, without me and believing the lies that she gets told. And there won't be anything that I can do about it. She'll be lucky if she comes back into Australia. The ex's plan was to go and live in China and to Echo goes to school in China, live in China. So I don't even know when they're going to be due back. You know, if they sold the house, they would get a huge profit. They would be massively in the profit. Huge. I paid $290 for that house, and who knows what it's worth now. So it's a huge increase. They've done really well for themselves for a person that was just a really bad guy in Australia. Just a horrible man. But they walked away very wealthy, you know. They did very well for themselves, brother. You know, but in her mind, it's still not enough. It's not enough, okay? Should have been paying more. And, you know, if you had to pay me anything, well, she just hates me for that. Shouldn't have had to pay anything at all, because they just want everything for nothing. Everything clean, you know? You just get your bags and your car and your clothes, and that's it. You don't even get your comics and your statues. No, they can stay, okay? Just your clothing and your car, off you go. And they want everything else. Everything. Okay? So, and that's not enough. She would still be sitting there telling everybody how bad you are and you're a DV person and you did this abuse and that abuse and, you know, like it's fucking, there's no accountability for their own role in whatever's going on situation in their life. A woman has no accountability for the role that she takes in order for that to happen. She does not see the role that she did in order for that to happen. In her eyes, completely fine, completely perfect. You get it? Understand? One thing you did do, mate, is teach me about women. You know, this whole fucking thing, it taught me about women, mate. That's for sure, right? That's what it did do. Yeah, it taught me about women, mate. You know, how evil and clever they can be. How much planning they put into something. You know, how much planning they put into shit, dude. And what they're willing to do to carry out their plans. You know, because they will destroy everything around them, mate, in order for those plans to work. They'll destroy everything. Everything, mate. Hey, your boss. 2, 3, 4.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. So never be surprised, gentlemen, on what they're willing to do when they've got a goal in their mind. Okay? Especially if they've got a plan shit. You know what I mean? Because, mate, they will sit in bed and they will plan. They will plan everything. They'll plan it over and over in their head, buddy, and they'll get a little plan together. And they think they're so clever. They really do. I wonder how much money I've got in the bank. I wouldn't mind some rice, man. Some fried rice. Yeah, I regard all women, mate. I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking care. You know, I've never heard a woman say it's not all men. You know, when they accuse you of being a DV this or whatever, DV that, it's all men. All men are this, all men are that. You know, perhaps you could use your own words, mate, when you talk about men. But that only applies to women, right? You know? Fucking that son, mate. That's a killer, that son. No, it just takes a lot of trust, mate, and you can't trust them. I'm telling you, man, the person that was before, that after you've signed, is a different person. You know, you'll get all the promises, mate, beforehand. Mrs. Wong?
How are you?
Okay. Not complain. Not complain. No care. Nobody care. Special fried rice, please, Mrs. Wong.
I'm not Mrs. Wong.
Yeah, on the restaurant.
No, I'm not Mrs. Wong.
Okay. For 2 years I've called her that, she laughs. Now she's not happy. She's not happy today.
The last one was smaller.
Small. Well, how much is a large?
13.
Okay, might as well go large.
I'm not Mrs. Wong.
Okay, you're Mrs. Who?
I'm Annie.
Annie.
Yeah.
Mrs. Annie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Mrs. Wong.
Okay.
I'm in. Call me.
Was before Mrs. Wong? Before?
No.
Never Mrs. Wong.
Never Mrs. Wong. I only got one husband.
Only one husband. Good for you. I'm afraid so, mate, yeah. That is one thing I noticed, mate, in family law court.
I was up a dead hill. You're walking in an instant loser. You're walking in answering to her all the time. And you left court with accusations and they ask you to go and prove all wrong. You come back into the court and then they deflect by throwing more accusations at you. They do not answer to any accusations you've reflected them because they're women. Women do not answer to anything in family law court. They will sit there silent and ignore you. They do not have to obey any court order. Do not believe your lawyer. He's fucking lying to you. Your lawyer is going to lie to you. They don't have to obey anything. They can ignore everything. There is nothing that they have to obey. And the reason is, what are you going to do about it if they don't obey? All you can do is go back to family law court. You can't go to the cops. You can't go and complain to anybody. You can't talk to anybody about it. So you've got to go and pay for the court again. And then as soon as you go back to court, she just says, I don't know what you're talking about, and just accuses you of more things. That's all they do, is they just accuse, and accuse. They don't need any proof. There is no proof needed. At no time do they need proof. They can get TikTok videos and just say, oh, there's your proof. That's your proof. And they try and pass that over. And her lawyer will sit there calling you a liar. You're a liar, Mr. Barker. That's exactly what you said in that video, that you gave your daughter this, and this. It's just the buffering in the court. And I said, you don't know what you're talking about for a fancy paid lawyer. I said, there's no buffering in the court. It's a made-up fake video. But you're trying to get me hung on a fake video. That is how low they're willing to go. Okay? And a children's lawyer, mate, does nothing for the child at all except reject the father. You've got two DV things on your name, and I didn't know what she was talking about because I've never been called in for questioning, never been questioned on anything, not since the order. And that's when I realised that they're talking about the picture that you didn't delete, a picture. And they're talking about the comment that you didn't remove. Well, they've put that on the record as DV. So now they can go to the family court and go, look, he's got 2 DV charges on him. Well, I haven't got 2 DV charges or any other charges on me. And I didn't have a lawyer. I'd spent $38,000 on lawyers, boys. 38 grand I spent. And 3 days before Christmas, my lawyer decides that they don't want to do my case anymore. So it's too far along now. You can't get a new lawyer. It's too far along. Okay. So I ended up walking in there on my own. They don't need a lawyer. They've got a lawyer there watching after them, and they've got a children's lawyer there. They've got 2 lawyers looking after them. They don't need a fucking lawyer, mate. They've automatically got 2 lawyers already, okay? They did is try and find anything they can to take your parenting off you. Anything at all. Now, I spent 4 years. 4 years in family court. I did everything. All of their courses, all of their psychological reports, everything that I was asked to do. And it didn't matter. Because at the end of the day, they look at you and go, oh, it's been a bit long since you've seen her, so I think it would be better that you don't see her. That's their logic. Instead of demanding that you actually see your daughter or your daughter sees you, right? No, they'll tell you, no, it's been too long, and your daughter doesn't want to see you anymore. They've actually got my daughter saying that I don't want to see Dad, I don't want to see him, I don't want to talk to him, I don't want to see him. Imagine the torment that you would have had to put an 8-year-old little girl through in order for her to say that she doesn't want to see her father. Like, seriously, there's no child that doesn't want to see their father. None. Every child wants to see their dad. But, they'll go to family law court and say, that's what the child says, that's what your child said about you. And the family law court will believe anything that the woman has told them. Anything at all. It doesn't matter what it is. So you got no chance, boys. None. None in family law court at all. It's impossible to reverse it. And I did everything I could to promise to my daughter, the last time I seen her, I've got reports. Because being a man, I've got to have a third-party report because I'm a man. I'm going to commit, whatever, their abuse and all the rest of the shit that they're fucking told the court. So I've got to have a third party watch me. So that cost me $330 for that lady to come along, and that's just for the report, for her to write the report. Thank you, miss. Have a good day, okay? Oops. Okay, mate, we've got a little bit of special fried rice for when I get home, boys. Different to criminal court when it comes to evidence. It's the total different. It's a total opposite. Criminal court and family law court are two totally different things, man. Don't get them confused because, what works in one court doesn't work in the other court, It really, really doesn't. Once that she's got the court saying into the court, oh no, the child doesn't want to see the parent, the child doesn't want to know the father, the child doesn't want to see the father. And then I asked her under oath, why doesn't my child want to see me? Oh, because you yelled 5 years ago. She's still, she's scared because you yelled. And then you'll say, well, I've got 3 reports here that I've seen my since then, and this is the report for that. And nowhere in here does it say that she doesn't want to see her father. She's asking to see her father. It says there right in the reports. Oh no, that's wrong. Those reports are wrong. She doesn't want to see you. She doesn't want to see you. You see, her words override a professional report. An actual psychologist report, mate. Oh no, that doesn't exist because the woman has spoken up and said, oh no, she doesn't want to see her father. So my reports, what I paid $330 for, were thrown out, just disregarded. Disregarded because the woman has piped up and said, oh no, the child has said this and the child has said that, but you've got reports for after that date, and that's not anything in the reports. My daughter is asking the lady, when is she going to see her daddy again? When she gets back to the house, she's apologising to the mum and says, Daddy said he was sorry. Daddy said he was sorry. Can Daddy come home now? Can Daddy come home? So my exes had to really poison her mind. Talk badly about her father in front of her and with her mother, and they got their own little language going on, and they, but of course they don't admit that. And they totally blame you for everything. It's amazing how women are just fucking angels, mate. Every woman walking the earth is a total fucking angel. A 10 out of 10 angel. None of the words or actions or anything that she does would ever contribute to the breaking up of a family. It's only the man. It's all men. Yeah, they don't like it. There's a complaint in there, don't say all women, we're not all the same. Yes, you fucking are. Yes, you fucking are, okay? But don't fucking try and fool me, bitch boys, okay? 80% divorce rate initiated by women, and that's throughout the world. In some places, it's as high as 90% initiated by women, all right? So don't tell me that it's not all women. I know sure as fuck that it's all men.
All men need to go and do the men's behaviour course. All men need to learn how to talk to a woman. You know, all men, right? All men. That's the only thing I've ever heard, is all men. I don't know. Hopefully she's all right. She's good, man. My kid's safe. My kid's eating well. You know, probably in China right now, playing in the fucking snow, mate. Because it's snow right now over there. It's all snowing. So yeah. All I know is, mate, I did my best, all right? I did everything that I was able to do, I never missed a meeting. I spent 2 days in final hearing, 8 hours a day, final hearing, 16 hours all up. And at the end of the day, you know, they told me that I'm not to have any contact at all. No contact, not allowed to even have a Christmas or anything at all. I'm a huge DV person. Apparently I'm going to do them all this harm. They seem to revert back to 2 years ago. You know, like they're still fucking telling me that I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm just shaking my fucking head. They're shit scared of my phone. Leave the phone on the counter. The whole court fucking shits itself, mate. Are you filming us, Mr. Barker? Have you got us on live stream at the moment? Because if you do, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Oh, fucking mate, I just forgot the phone on the counter. And they thought I was filming inside the courtroom. You know, so the whole place has just fucking gone to shit. And they did that, I don't know, 2 or 3 times in the 2 days. Every time I had my phone in my hand, I've got to prove that I've got it turned off. Because apparently I'm going to live stream everything. You know, I'm going to show the courtroom. Like, I never live stream anything, you know what I'm saying? But that's what she has told them I'm going to do. That's what her lawyers have told them I'm going to do. You know, he's going to live stream it. He's going to put us on the live stream. You know, he's going to dox our names. He's going to talk about our names. Because they don't want anybody to know how much family law court is a fucking shaft for a man. You just go there, you get shafted. That's it. You know, I don't know how many men lose their children in family law court in a week, mate. How many children has that judge given away in 1 week? How many fathers have they put the hammer down to in that 1 week? You know? That's what I'd like to know. I really would. How many fathers have you separated from their children this week? And they don't want to know that. They don't want you talking about that. You know? They don't want you fucking talking about the children's lawyers or anything like that. You know? Apparently they think they've got some kind of control over you, right? But anyway, they thought they could get that kind of order on me, and they can't get that kind of order on me. You know, the case has ended. So you can't have an order on someone when there's not even a case, okay? And, you know, that's everything else you're talking about is called defamation. We already have laws for Australia for that. So if you want to take it up, you can. But good luck to you. Good luck to you. But they wanted all those protections, mate. And apparently I'm to be arrested if I talk about them at all. You know, if I talk about that person or if I talk about the situation, I'm to be arrested on sight. I just started fucking laughing. Like, I really did. Like, I don't know what country they think they're fucking living in, but that shit is not going to apply after I get out of the family law court. It only applies in family law court. You want to charge me? Great. Take me back to family law court and charge me. You want to go down to the cop station and try it? Good fucking luck. Good luck, because it doesn't work that way. It really, really doesn't work that way. Little brother. Little brother. A couple of beers would go down well, eh, boys? Fuck. A couple of coldies. A couple of coldies would go down well, eh, boys? That is correct, yeah. The court expects the man just to swallow it all, cop it sweet, and move on with his life. That's what I was told. Move on in your life, you know, because that's what they expect you to do. Because that's exactly what she's going to do. You know, she's looking for her next victim, you know, and that'll become the new daddy. He becomes daddy, you know, and they'll gladly replace you. They'll gladly replace you, man. The woman won't even think about it, won't even hesitate, okay? Because you're an abuser, you're this, you're that, you're all of this fucking shit that she's created. But the new boyfriend steps in, mate, and he becomes the stepdaddy. Well, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it, boys. Especially for someone my age. Like, why in the fuck would you want to chase around a woman getting married at my age? You know what I mean? All that time that you'll waste and all that energy and money that you'll waste. When you should be just enjoying your peace. You know, when I was young, you know, I always had to have a pretty girlfriend. I just felt complete when I had a pretty girlfriend. You know, like a girl that when I walked down the street, other blokes looked at. And I always had a pretty girlfriend, dude. You know, always. But as I get older, man, I realise that, you know, that's just not fucking worth it. A whole lot of the time, it's just not worth it. You are better off on your own, running your own race, and living your fucking life, mate. And don't rely on them. You know, don't rely on them, brother. You know, if they say whatever they tell you, just put for now at the end of it. Whenever a woman talks to you, you know, I'm going to do this, you know, whatever it is, for now. I love you, for now. Whatever they fucking tell you, mate, just put on the end of it, for now. Okay? Because it only takes one thing, man. One little thing or whatever they don't like and they're not happy with and their feelings change. And that's it for you, brother. You're fucking out of there. And now they'll spend months and months and months planning your exit. Planning your exit, brother. Yeah? And then pointing the relationship in that direction and treating you in that way that gets you into that position that she wants you. So she'll spend months and months and months treating you like shit, talking down to you, treating you like fucking rubbish in order for you to break up with her. Okay? And she's willing to live that like that for fucking months. She's willing to do it without even fucking hesitating. Yeah? So it just goes to show you how crafty they are. How fucking much effort they will put into the negative. They'll put in a lot of effort into getting rid of you, and they'll put no effort into actually keeping you. Okay? And don't ever sign the property over. Don't ever trust a woman that says to you, know, we'll always be together forever. Don't you trust me? You know, I love you. Don't you trust me? Yeah, don't believe her. Don't believe her for a second. She's fucking lying to you, mate. She's lying to you. Don't believe anything she's telling you. She's lying. I'm the living proof of that. I am living proof of that. Let me put this up a bit of a lump. Enjoy it, out of trouble. If you want to support my stream or you want to support my stream or chuck us a gift, mate. lorddobbyking@gmail.com is my PayPal. lorddobbyking@gmail.com. Thank you to the members on my channel too, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you to the members on my channel. Okay? Thank you, Vibe. Thank you for your chat. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, all of that is right, mate. Everything you wrote is correct.
So the idea is to get out of it, man.
No, mate. I'm not interested in fucking women, mate. I have no interest in it. Damn it, Dobby. Have you got something yet? No, 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 no.
Mate, I can't even get laid even if I marry him. Okay? Even if I marry him, I still don't get laid. Don't you understand that? I'm a fucking monk, mate. I'm a goddamn monk, brother. I've been a monk for fucking 10 years. Even if you marry them, you cannot expect to actually sleep with them. How dare you? How do you expect to sleep with your wife? Who do you think you are? That's disgusting. You're nothing but a sex fiend. That's what I was called, a sex fiend. And I said, but that's supposed to be your wife. And the lady said, well, how do you expect to sleep with your wife? I said, because it's your wife. You married her. You would expect that would be the one person in the world that would want to sleep with you. No. How dare you expect to sleep with her? You know, she doesn't have to sleep. I didn't say she had to sleep with you. I just said that you would expect to sleep with her, that's your wife. And then they turn it around in the convo and go, because you have to, you're demanding you have to. They change the wording on it. You see, they change the wording in order to make you feel guilty. You know, I remember this fucking person, mate. I remember this fucking person, right? She says to me, I wanted to have a shag. I'm trying to fucking get in her pants, right? And she says to me, I'll go and have a shower. Okay, go and have a shower. I'd had a shower an hour earlier. Okay, then I'll get in the shower. I get out of the shower, I'll walk out, I've got a towel on and go into the bedroom, right? As I'm getting into the bedroom, she's standing there beside the bed and she starts screaming at me. You know, you expect a sexual slave when you come out. You expect a person just to be laying in bed waiting for you with their legs open and you're ready to do this and you're ready to do that. And I looked at her and said, is that what you think your husband wants? And she just looked at me. She said, yeah, you just want a sexual, a slave, rah, rah. I said, so hang on a minute. You're married and you think your husband wants B, C. And you look at it and go, I'm not going to give that to my husband because that's wrong. I said, how is that logical to you? That is your husband. You are married to him, right? And you're trying to tell me it's wrong for you to what? What is it wrong? You see? You can't have everything you fucking, you know what I mean? You can't have the logic just isn't there. You know what I mean? And they try and call you a sexual addict and all of that kind of thing, but you don't give it up. The person telling you that doesn't give it up. They're giving it up to somebody else. They're not giving it up to you. They're saving it when they're with you, and they're giving it up when they're away from you. Okay? That's what's going on here, mate. They're saving it when they're with you, and they're giving it away when they're not with you. Okay? Mate, they could use my foreskin as a tent, mate. It'd be a fucking tent, brother. Okay? They could use it as a tent, mate. I've got a little bit of power left. I've only got a little bit left. Oh, fuck. Yeah, man, even if I'm married, man, I still don't get laid. I still don't get laid, even if you're married. You know, the bitch will stand there arguing with you. She'll stand there fucking arguing with you, mate, calling you all kinds of names and all this shit. And I looked at her and said, is that what you really think your husband would want? She said, yeah. I said, why wouldn't you do that for him then? You know, if that's what your husband wants and that's your husband, why wouldn't you do it for him? That's your husband. It's not like you're sleeping around with Tom, Dick and Harry. You know, you think your husband fantasizes about this and that and you go, no, you're terrible for thinking that way. Like, that's their fucking logic now, okay? That's their logic. I could use it as a fucking tent, mate. Don't worry about that. They could use it as a raincoat. Fucking, it could be a family teepee. You just fucking use it, put a couple of sticks in it, mate, and fucking use it as a family teepee. You're going to fit 10 people under it. It's completely waterproof too, and completely seals. Just goes all the way around. It's complete seal. It's a fucking monster. It's a fucking hammer. Don't worry about that. Oh, fuck. Anyway, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. I did a couple more hours for you. You know, if you want to chuck us a blessing, I'd appreciate you. lorddobbyking@gmail.com. Something for my birthday, it'd be appreciating. It's my birthday today. So, yeah, thank you very much for that if you can. And help me kick along a little bit. I'm going to go and have some dinner now. I'm going to have this rice. I'm going to have the rice, mate. Okay, and go and have a shower and head to bed, mate, because it's an early night for me. I've been up early this morning. Yeah, thanks very much, man. I appreciate you. Sub to the channel, whatever they call it. Follow, sub, whatever they call it. I'd appreciate it. And we'll see you next time I'm online. I come online a fair amount, but I don't like to come on too much. It's a bit annoying because I'm an old bloke and I talk a lot of shit. So hopefully this stream doesn't get taken down like the last one. Is pretty much age restricted. Sorry about that. Ishmael doesn't like it when you talk about him. So your channel gets kiboshed and put off to the side. Anyway, stay happy, healthy and well. God bless all of you. And chuck us a blessing on lorddobbyking@gmail.com is my PayPal. And I appreciate your time. I really, really do. Take care, okay?